Hello, welcome to episode 26 of our Inktober challenge. My name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher, and this is day 26 of 31. If you are following along, and today is actually October 26th for you, then fantastic job keeping up and getting these done on the correct days or being caught up to today. If you are doing day 26 and maybe it's the end of October, maybe it's November, or maybe it's a year or two later, that is also okay. Thank you so much for being here. These tangles have been so much fun to play with, and it doesn't matter if you get them all done in the month of October or not. Okay, so we are on day 26, which means we have today and then 5 more to fit in the rest of this paper. I'm so excited with how it is all coming together. I'm using my micron pen, graphite pencil, and blending tool, my little 2-inch bijou tile. These are all from Zentangle.com, and my paper is simply white cardstock. All right, here we go. Gonna move that out of the way and zoom in a bit. Okay, today's tangle is called Owlpeek by Susan Yao Asizi T. And again, this is episode 26. So this is one of those that really works best as a border tangle. And it doesn't mean it has to be on the edge, but it means that it kind of builds on itself and creates a beautiful line. That's how we are going to do it today. But I'm going to show you my sketchbook and show you a few different ways that I played with it. So this is the pattern. This right here is a single Owlpeek pattern. And then it builds and grows. Then I played with it where I built it off the side. And right here I did it where I put 4 of them together. And here I did 4 of them, but then I outlined and added an aura around each individual piece. And here I started doing the border again, and right here I did them singly. So it's okay to play with your tangles. It's okay to break them apart, move them around, to build them on each other, and just have fun. Okay, we're gonna turn this over, and I'm gonna go at a diagonal again so that we can make this go nice and long down the center. Okay, I'm gonna start with my pen, and up here at the top, I'm gonna put a little straight line. And then I'm going to put an X, and I'm going to make this X be a little bit long, like that. The whole thing is about the width of my finger. And then we add a bottom. On the left side over here, I'm going to jump up and give a curl, and I want my curl to go past this point, past these 2 ends here. So I'm going to go up and over and give it a curl. And on this side, instead of going up, it's going to go down and around. So it's going to scoot down and around. And then from this point, we're going to give it a couple of lines. I like to go up and out, and on the bottom one, I start in that center and go down and out. And then from this point, I come down to the spiral, and this one I go up to the spiral. And same thing over here. And that is Owlpeek. Let's do it again. We already have our top line, so we're going to make our X shape. And again, I'm kind of lining it up to this corner. So put in your X shape and put in that bottom line. From the middle, we're going to go up and give a curl. Make sure your curl goes beyond those two lines. And then a down and curl. From that center, we're going to go up a couple of times and down a couple of times. From the top of that triangle, we're going to come out to the curl, and then from that curl down to the bottom. And same thing on the other side. Look at that pretty border we're making. I'm going to try to fit 2 more in here, and I'm still kind of aiming for this bottom corner. So I'm going to do 1 here. Again, making it about the width of my finger. Don't go too tiny. I'm actually going to make this one a little bit longer. And I'm going to go ahead and draw in my last one. It's going to come down like this, and have that flat end. From this middle, I'm going to curl up and out. And then I'm going to go down and around. And from this middle, I'm going to come up and around and down and around. From that little point, go ahead and put in your little texture lines. And I think it would look like a beautiful border even if we didn't then connect those lines. But we're going to connect them. So from the top to the spiral and to the bottom. Owlpeek. I think that looks really cool. Okay, I'm gonna continue my 2 ends. So if this was the top, I would have my X coming down like that. And then I would have these lines coming down towards the center. You do not have to do this part, but I just want to. And then I would have these lines coming out to meet those spirals over here. But I like how that just goes off the edge. Same thing over here. I would have, this would maybe be the bottom line, so I would go up into my X this way. You can skip this part. And then those are going to come up and meet my spirals up there. That looks pretty cool. I'm going to add an aura to the whole thing. And this just widens it, makes it a little bit bigger, takes up a little bit more space, but also defines it. There we go. And then I think it would be fun to put 2 single ones on the corners. You can skip this part, but we've got space, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put one here. Maybe I'll have it bump into it. That wasn't my intention. Big curl that way, big curl that way. And I'm going to do one down here. Big curl, big curl. And I'm going to aura those individually. I'm not going to do those connecting lines. Those look kind of neat just floating around by themselves. Okay, let's do some shading. So for these, I'm gonna shade in those little V shapes where those lines all meet. So putting a little bit in each one, even these on the sides. Don't be afraid to push down hard. See how I'm pushing and pulling that away, but leaving that middle nice and bright. And then I'm going to go on the outside edge of this whole border. And around these single ones. I love the combination of curls and straight lines. Okay, I'm going to go around the edges. Do this really quickly. I love that, and I love the 2 variations, or the one and then the single variation, I guess. And I'm not going to do any shading on the spirals, although you could if you wanted to. I kind of like it just like that. I'm gonna add my initials down here and add it to our big piece. Look at all of these tangles. Amazing. Okay, where is this one going to fit in? I'm going to take a quick peek at our packet. This one is today. Then tomorrow we have this, which is also like a little border type pattern. And then we have 4 that are not borders. So that's what we need to fit in. So I really like these little single ones, but I also like how this makes a beautiful border. And since we have so many of these little ones already happening, I think I'm gonna put it right here. I just like how these little things all sort of go in and out of our piece. So I'm gonna have mine go right about there. And it could go here if we wanted. I mean, it could go anywhere, but that is where I'm thinking. So I'm gonna turn my page a little bit and put it here. Now the question is, do I make it go straight across? Do I curve it? I think it needs to be curved. And I'm gonna use my pencil as my guide because, I don't know, just because that feels right. Okay, I want it to come from here and bump this way. So I'm gonna use my pencil to make a nice curve. And that's gonna be the center where all of these line up, okay? I think I want it to be a little more of a bump, like, maybe like that. And I'm actually gonna take my pencil right now and I'm gonna put in those X shapes. So this would be like my first flat spot, and then I would do an X and an X. And this line is gonna be in the middle of that X. And now this triangle's a little small. I'm gonna make it a little bit larger. See how I'm doing that? It's like an hourglass shape. And I'm gonna do the next one. So it's gonna crisscross through here. And then have this nice double triangle. Do another one. Don't be afraid to make those kind of large. These are all, should be more than the width of my pencil. It's a little hard to do this on a curve, but I know you can do it. This is why we're doing it in pencil first. And then this one would just kind of disappear. It would be just as much fun, or maybe more fun, if you started with pen and just kind of let it guide itself. And maybe have some of your spirals really big, maybe have your triangles change into longer triangles or wider triangles. Let me go back and look at my book for a moment. Let's see, was I playing around with that at all on here? Like I tried to do some kind of different angles of my triangles. Yeah, just play. Okay, I'm gonna take my pen. I am not going to ink in that middle right now. Just gonna ink in these X's and their flat spots. So X, X, and flat. X, X, flat. All right, now I need to focus on those spirals. I'm gonna turn this whole thing and I'm gonna do my spiral this way. If I make it really small, it's not gonna look very good, I don't think. I want it to go past these 2 points, so it really widens this area. And what I love about making the spiral go up and around and then down and around is you get this like letter S shape, like kind of a backwards S, but go up and around. You could always do this in pencil first, and then down and around. See how those go wide? I'm going to keep doing that nice and wide. Up and around, down and around. Kind of jumping outwards. Do it in pencil first if you need to. And if you decided it's easier to make your spirals all go the same way, do that. It'll look just as cool. I take my eraser and get rid of some of these pencil lines in here. And then I'm going to add those little texture lines. And again, I like to go from the center and out, but you can go outwards and then to the center if you'd like. If you would like to do a little broken line to give it a little bit of a reflection or a little sparkle, you can. Let me show you what that looks like. That little break in the line, it just changes it a little bit. Okay, that part is done. Now we need to do the connecting, but before I do my connecting, I'm just sitting here thinking, what if I don't do these connecting lines and instead I do an aura just to change it up? Should I do that? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it for a second. I love how this looks, all these like little diamonds, but I just think it'd be kind of fun to aura it. Okay, I'm going to aura it. You wait a moment. You wait and see how it turns out. I'm thinking if I aura, it'll just look a little bit different. I feel like I'm being so careful for some reason. Okay, I kind of like the aura. So if you want to do what I'm doing, go right ahead. Otherwise, at this point is when you come from that top up here and go out to the spiral and then back down to the bottom. Out to the spiral, down to the bottom, out to the spiral. But I'm kind of enjoying this little variation. All right, time to add some shading. I'm going to go into those little corners. And I love that the ink in there already makes those dark, because all those lines met, but we can still add some graphite to it. Take our blending tool, push it out and away just a little bit. I like how that one with the broken lines turned out. And then I'm going to go around that whole aura. Now, if you decided to do the original where you connected those, then you can go do an aura around the whole thing, and it's nice straight edges. Remember, you don't need a lot of graphite for this outer edge, but I would push down kind of hard so it's a nice dark line. And try not to go right on your pen line. Try to go to just to the outside of it if you can. And then I'm going to do this little edge here where it peaks and disappears underneath the frame. It's so pretty. I love how that turned out. I'm going to take my blending tool, it already has some graphite, and I'm just going to give a little bit on the inside edge of these curls. Now, in her examples, Susan does some fun things with these spirals. So in some of them, she thickens the side. So let me show you what that would look like. Like maybe right here. Give it a little line and fill it in. And look at how it's so subtle, but it changes that line from just being a single line that's all the same width to giving it a little bit of character. So that's a fun way to just embellish it a little bit. And you could even do it on the matching side in here. Again, it's so subtle, but fun to play. You could always add some little dots around here, all different ways. I like that. Okay, let's zoom out and see how it looks. All right, what do you guys think? Are you enjoying this? How is yours turning out? Are you proud of it? Are you frustrated? I hope you're not frustrated. So that was day 26. So we have 5 more to do. I'm thinking 1 down here, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I'm envisioning. We'll see how it goes, but I love it. All right, we'll see you tomorrow for day 27. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.